Okay.
Hello
Yes.
everyone, I am your host Shashi with you all on Women Dialogues to create more voice for women and by women. As you are aware, on our this Global Women Dialogue talk show, we bring women from around the globe. And you have seen many women have taken part, and till now more than 64 countries women, all six continents. In the same way, today's our guest is connecting with us from Uganda. She is well experienced, well established in her career line and her work. We will get to know more about her, but I would like to introduce our today's speaker. She is an international development expert, an environmentalist. She is the founder and chair of Pilot International organization in Uganda, which is dedicated for sustainable development as well as sustainable business innovation programs. She is the first vice president of the African Green Federation, which is a political federation, and it is having a membership of green parties in over 30 countries in Africa, as well as she's a national chairperson for the Ecological Party of Uganda. She has dedicated her life, her profession, and she's an icon of social change who has chaired and supported many development and political groups within Uganda, Africa, and globe. And more than that, she is got awarded by the title of honorary professor by the University of Oxford in the field of business and management. As you are hearing from me, so as you hear from me about our today's speaker, she's well experienced, well established, and well enough to gain popularity and got awarded by the University of Oxford by the honorary professor in her field, in her work. She is with us today, carrying over on her experience, her knowledge, her wisdom to inspire and motivate us. So let's welcome our today's speaker, Robinah from Uganda. Welcome, Robinah, on our Global Women Dialogue talk show.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sashi, for having me on the Women Dialogue. I'm very happy to be here. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Professor Robinah. I know you are a very busy person. You have a lot of affiliation, a lot of work, and finding time is always very hard for you, but you got time bit of for us to share your journey to inspire our audience and our viewers who are with us and listening and watching us. So thanks a lot. Let's talk about as a Robinah, how we can know who is Robinah, what way she grew up, what kind of courage and motivation she was carrying when she was child, and how those motivation and inspiration made her path the way she is today.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much, Sashi. First of all, I think I'm going to start at my professional career. Right at the university, I'm a woman who desired really to be economically empowered. I wanted to go to school and have my own education, but I also desired to have a family. So when I graduated, maybe to cut the story short, I'll just mention bits here and there. I have a master's degree in environment. So when I finished my master's degree, I started my own company called Pilot International. Basically, Pilot International is promoting global sustainable development. I graduated in international development and environment. And at that time, actually, there were no jobs in Uganda. You know, it was really difficult to find a job. But I said, okay, I have a degree here. I think I can start something in line with what I started. Right. Yeah, at that time, it's about 15 years ago, coming to 15 years ago. I noticed the environment had a challenge of not being a business, not people being able to see a business out of environmental conservation or, management. So I said, no, I have to start a private sector company that is dedicated to, generating business out of the environment, so that we make it attractive for people to really engage positively. And it has worked all the years, all these inspirational, renewable energy, clean energy, recycling and whatever. All those innovations came as a result of my company, and I have inspired a lot of people to start, first of all, their own businesses, their own companies, and also integrate an aspect of environment, because, we have, as we are going now, there are lots of problems related to climate change, environmental degradation, water scarcity, and the like. And all that, if people see a motivation in it, doing good for the environment, especially something related to income, it's going to be a very big motivation for them to engage. So for the last kind of 15 years, I've been a president and chair Pilot International, inspiring, engaging these causes of sustainable development. And also on the other side, that was the beginning of my professional life. But on the other side, I have desired to do more, and that's when I ventured into politics, into political leadership, because, you are in one sector and then you say, maybe this sector limits you, you want to do more. Because for Pilot International, it's international and it's very diverse. I've really traveled to over 100 countries globally on expositions and conferences and also projects. So politically, I thought, no, maybe I can concentrate my efforts on the African continent and maybe in my country, because with politics, you serve really your country. I would say somehow exclusively, you are closer to your country people than when you are into the business world and that kind of thing. So that's when, lucky enough, there was a Green Party in Uganda, and I said, oh, this is what I believe in, sustainability, sustainable development. And maybe if we use a political approach, we will arrive at the results faster, maybe, than the business approach. So I got engaged in the Green Party of Uganda, and right now I chair. I was nominated to chair it. I think I'm a chair for so many things. And yes, so the African Greens Federation, it is a federation of parties, green parties and movements on the African continent. And the Ecological Party, which I chair, happens to be a member to this political federation. And now on the African Greens Federation, 4 years ago, I was elected as the first vice president. And yes, we are advocating this green ideology with a political approach in over 30 countries in Africa, where we had green parties or movements or networks. It's a very good opportunity, actually, to be of service, and also for people to really see this in you, because for the federation, I was actually elected, although for the company, Pilot International, I would say I'm self-made, or I conceived it and I did it and I'm there. So it's very honoring to make a contribution of this magnitude, and also to inspire women, because I must say that I think this federation, African Greens Federation, has been in place for over 10 years. And you know what? It has never had a woman president. Yeah.
Wow.
even a vice president. I am not a president, but even a vice president, I am the first woman actually vice president of the federation. So all this, I think, as women are now to go on the gender side, we really have to strive hard, to put our fears on the side and keep pushing, but also follow the
Mhm.
I think we have to.
So, Professor Robinah, your career, the way you shared, it's really impressive. It's really remarkable. And it's really inspiring, especially for women when we are talking about taking a step, have a courage. And where there was no opportunity, you created opportunity, not for self, but for many others. So, as you said, you worked for environment, and even your political career also associated with Green Party and all. How you see as a woman, what kind of challenges you have faced during all the years of journey?
Yeah. That is a very, very good question, actually. I would say very, very many challenges, and I'll categorize them. Of course, the business challenge,
Mm-hmm.
like people would, I started very young. People would
Yeah.
even find me in my office and they want to talk to the manager, like
Mhm.
the CEO or whatever. And then I'll
Uh-huh.
tell them I'm the manager. And, and then they could not believe that.
Right.
So
Yeah.
first of all, people, they still not believe in women, I'd say. And if you're a young woman, you are now this girl, what can she do? And this kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Now, in the political circles, of course, you know what it means. Rubbing, friction with men
Right.
regarding to political power and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Within the federation, actually itself, the African Greens Federation, I would say I'm the only woman on the executive committee. The
Right.
executive committee where you have a president, vice president, up to the communication. I'm the only woman,
Right. Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm not intimidated, but of course, people are tending to intimidate you and that kind of thing. And if you're not faint-hearted, I would say it strengthens you. It actually has strengthened me, working, being in a men's world or operating in men's world. Say yes,
Right.
if you can do it, why not?
Mm-hmm.
The third scenario is actually recently in the Ugandan elections. I stood as a member of parliament.
Mm-hmm.
I did not win, but in the race still, I was the only woman among 10 men. So we were 11 candidates for the seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one woman running against 10 men.
Right.
Of course, such scenarios don't make me proud in any way. I really want to see more women coming on board, venturing into what they feel as challenging situations. Of course, in leadership, but also in leadership in business, still women are still few, but also leadership in politics, they are even very, very, very few. So of course, those are the challenges, but I believe we can really reduce them.
Yeah. So, Dr. Professor Robinah, where you mentioned here about the challenges and even years of experience, also still there is a hard line to break this male-dominated, work culture, the society, the mindset, like how a female can be a senior as a manager, CEO, or even a in executive committees, mostly male are there and females are not there. Like you are creating an example, like creating a leagues, an impact for many females. How you see is government can play a somewhat some way crucial role to giving them more position or bringing female on those key position role. Do you think somewhat this kind of changes can help to create mindset of people, especially when they are thinking about like these are position for males?
Yeah, sure. First of all, I will just speak on behalf of giving an example of my government. I think the Ugandan government has done well. Like if the women who have like you've exhibited yourself, you've come up, either contested and won, or maybe you are in business and you're inspiring or whatever. So the politicians, the women politicians that have come up and they have won, they've been really appointed to big positions in government.
Wonderful.
Recently, we've had a woman speak of parliament for 10 years, and she has really done excellent work. Previously, we've had a woman vice president, but even now we have a woman vice president, and we have a woman prime minister, and we have a couple of women. I wouldn't say many, but a couple of women in a really decision-making positions. But we cannot also forget that the journey, for you to compete in politics and win as a woman, it is still a very difficult thing. Where, of course, many have more money, they maneuver around, they bribe and whatever. So the games normally that bring women into to win elective politics, the ground is not really leveled, because there is also the point of aggression, of course, into the politics, which women, we don't manage, we cannot manage. But also anywhere on the African continent, I think if a woman has stood her foot down and projected herself, systems normally, I would say the systems have no choice. they will just get her on board. So the thing is really to continue to push yourself up, because no one will find you nowhere, even if you're a woman or whatever, and then they bring you on board. So yes,
So, Dr. Robinah, that was something we were talking about as women and their challenges in the political scenario. You are working for sustainable development and for environment as well. Dr. Robinah, are you with us? I think due to some internet connectivity issue, we are finding Dr. Robinah is not with us. Let's see if she can join us again. So, Dr. Robinah, here we were talking about your political career, but you are famous and your work and specialization about sustainable development and environment and international development. And you have worked all around the globe for international development and environment. And where we are seeing nowadays, it's very prime issue. We are seeing globally a lot of climate and environment issues are coming up. What's your observation and what is your understanding about it?
Okay. First of all, it is very actually unfortunate that despite, governments are saying they are doing something, and also maybe they are doing something, but I think it's not enough yet. It's not enough yet. Excuse me. So my recommendation that we need a multidisciplinary approach to climate change, because it is a global issue and it's very diverse. It has so many components, it has so many sectors and that kind of thing. So my belief is that there is not enough work because the efforts are still scattered. The efforts are not yet felt. We need a multidisciplinary approach where governments engage, put in working policies, bring citizens on board. We have to look at all sectors in a country or in countries. All sectors must be involved into climate change efforts, mitigation and adaptation. For example, if we have the transport sector involved in this, if we have the agriculture sector, if we have the education sector, if we have the manufacturing sector, all sectors really incorporating into their climate change mitigation efforts into their daily work environments, I think we can manage to minimize, to alleviate climate change. But you know, the problem right now is that the government is into policy, talking and talking. They have not come up with an approach, really, a strategy that is working to put everyone on board, because it affects us all. It should be the responsibility of all sectors, all citizens, but it also gives an opportunity, a development opportunity, and which I
So, Robinah, we hear from you about environment, sustainability, climate, how political organization, government can play a crucial role about the environment and climate and all. What message would you like to give to our audience, our listener, and especially women?
Oh, yes, I would like to give them a message of participation, encouragement to participate. If, for example, you see really the rural women in any part of the world, they are mostly hit by impacts of climate change and environment, because rural women are most involved into agriculture. They are into collecting water from really the very, very traditional sources. They have to get firewood, you know, cooking energy, normally using the traditional ways. So I would like to encourage all women to participate in these efforts of mitigating climate change and proper environmental management, because we are the ones that get problems, suffer most where any catastrophe really comes. Even if it's actually floods that are coming out of climate change, landslides and whatever, women and children are most affected, you know. Right. So my message is actively engage and make a contribution and, you know, push themselves ahead. Yeah. Right. Yes.
Right. And when we are talking all about it, how you find kind of work as a women dialogue is doing can be helpful or important?
Of course, the Women Dialogue, I would like to commend actually your efforts for coming up with such a program. I think people live or lead by examples. If we hear voices coming from the different parts of the world, coming from different corners, where women are engaged into, you know, productive projects or activities, and where they are encouraging others to get on board, and where we are exposing or promoting such women like this platform that you created, I think eventually really it motivates women, and women motivate others, and, you know, the multiplication factor really increases. So it is a good program, I must say.
Thank you. And how our audience or our listeners, if they would like to get connected to you, how they can find you?
I have a Facebook page, Robinah Kenanyunja. Even I'm on Facebook, my profile is there, Robinah Kenanyunja. I'm Robinah Kenanyunja throughout, but also through my company, Pilot International also. It has a Facebook page, Pilot International Uganda. It can lead you to me. So even on Instagram, Robinah Kenanyunja, Twitter, Robinah Kenanyunja, everywhere. So wonderful, I'm looking really forward to connecting with everyone and continuing the dialogue. Keep moving the dialogue. Yeah.
Wonderful, Robinah. And thank you so much for connecting with us, sharing your work and creating inspiration for others. And thanks to all our audience who are listening and watching us, as you found how one small act can lead to the big and bigger changes. As Dr. Ruby mentioned initially, after her career finished her study, she didn't find job in her own line, but she created her own work, her own business, and now she's working more than in 100 countries. She has participating in political organization to bring the change in the society, in the community. In the same way, I hope you found your own inspiration and motivation. And if you have more work, more question and query, especially regarding to Robinah, get connect with her. I'm going to put the details in the description as well. And if you have any question for us, let us know in the comment as well. With this note, I just would like to say, please do like, share, and subscribe. We are here, and support us also our cause as a Women Dialogue by giving us donation. We are putting the link in the description as well. With this same note, I will see you next time with next episode for keeping our inspiration and motivation for growing together and develop together. Take care. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.